Bonjour tout le monde, mon nom est Philippe Landry et je suis candidat au Conseil des écoles publiques de l'Est de l'Ontario pour le secteur scolaire 7, qui inclut Beacon Hill et Cyrville, ainsi que Orléans-Ouest. Je me présente comme candidat parce que je pense que c'est important de donner de notre temps à des causes qui nous tiennent à cœur. Et pour moi, ça, c'est l'éducation. Ça fait plus de 10 ans que je travaille dans un domaine d'éducation, que ce soit pour des organismes à but non lucratif ou encore comme gestionnaire de programme dans une grande compagnie technologique. J'ai de l'expérience à travailler avec toutes sortes d'organismes comme des collèges, des universités et des conseils scolaires de partout au Canada. Donc, j'ai une vue d'ensemble et une expérience qui est très particulière. Et je pense que mon expérience pourrait être très bénéfique pour le Conseil des écoles publiques de l'Est de l'Ontario. D'abord, j'aimerais reconnaître que mes priorités comme conseiller pourraient changer avec le temps. Parce que je crois que c'est important pour un conseiller scolaire de toujours être à l'écoute des parents, des membres de la communauté et des élèves pour s'assurer que le bien-être des élèves soit toujours la première priorité. Et d'ailleurs, c'est ma première priorité, c'est d'assurer, de prioriser le bien-être et la santé mentale des élèves. Ma deuxième priorité serait de continuer d'assurer un service d'exception à tous les élèves, peu importe qui ils sont. Et finalement, ma troisième priorité serait de réviser la politique de technologie de l'information du CPO, car elle nécessite une mise à jour. Je crois qu'elle n'a pas changé depuis 2016. J'aimerais spécifiquement y inclure une clause autour du développement des compétences et de la littératie numérique pour les membres du personnel et pour les élèves. Je crois que le conseil scolaire devrait suivre les directives de la santé publique locale et provinciale en tout temps. Ça, c'est hors de question. Et il faut aussi respecter le choix de chacun et chacune de vouloir porter un masque à l'école, peu importe. Bien que ce dossier soit géré au niveau de la province, personnellement, je soutiens les demandes des travailleurs et des travailleuses de l'éducation qui négocient des meilleures conditions de travail et des augmentations de salaire. Je pense qu'avec l'inflation aujourd'hui, ces gens, les éducatrices, les concierges, les conducteurs d'autobus, méritent d'avoir un salaire décent qui représente la valeur de leur travail. Et je pense qu'en ayant un meilleur salaire, on pourrait mieux recruter et retenir ces travailleurs dans notre conseil. La santé mentale, c'est un énorme problème chez les élèves aujourd'hui et c'est une de mes 3 priorités. Je pense qu'il y a plusieurs facteurs qui peuvent contribuer à ce problème-là. Entre autres, il y a des études qui démontrent que la surexposition de la technologie, des écrans pour les jeunes enfants, c'est pas une bonne chose. Et ça peut exacerber certains problèmes de santé mentale. Et donc, j'aimerais encourager le conseil, si je suis élu comme conseiller, de réviser la façon qu'on utilise les écrans dans nos écoles et aussi d'encourager le plus possible d'avoir du temps de récréation, de qualité à l'extérieur pour que les enfants puissent prendre de l'air, bouger, jouer ensemble. C'est aussi très important pour le conseil d'investir dans des ressources de qualité professionnelle comme des psychologues, des travailleurs sociaux qui puissent aider nos élèves qui ont des besoins. Personnellement, j'habite pas dans le secteur que je veux représenter, soit le secteur scolaire 7 qui inclut Orléans-Ouest et Beacon Hill, Cyrville. J'habite à Vanier et mes enfants, j'ai 4 enfants qui vont à une école du CPO à Vanier. La raison que j'ai voulu me présenter dans un autre quartier que celui où est-ce que mes enfants fréquentent leur école, c'est que je veux garder un regard neutre, impartial par rapport au travail que je fais dans la communauté que je vais représenter, afin d'éviter tout potentiel de conflit d'intérêts, à savoir si je représente l'école de mes enfants. Alors voilà pourquoi je me présente dans le secteur 7.
Okay, I like learning new things, so here we go. Hi, I'm Joanne McEwen, a Catholic trustee in the Ottawa Catholic School Board. I have proudly served Zone 5, the Innis, Beacon Hill, Cyrville area for the past 10 years. Prior to becoming a trustee, I volunteered in my children's schools for over 18 years and chaired the Catholic School Parents Association for 7. I have served on board committees both as a trustee and as a parent advisor. Examples of the committees include Transportation, Audit, Safe Schools, Ottawa Catholic Child Care Corp, Suspension and Expulsion, Policy and Procedures, Parent Advisory Committee, and Student Alternate Learning. This work has helped me to learn a lot about how the OCSB functions and how our schools operate. First question, priorities. Number 1, pandemic recovery. Funding for mental health and assistance for students who have lost learning opportunities during shutdowns. 2, focus and supports for our poorest communities, of which there are a number in my area. Number 3, focus on equity, Black students, Indigenous students, 2 SLGBTQ+ students, and other marginalized students, ensuring all are welcomed into our school communities with the supports that they need so they can learn, thrive, and succeed. Question 2, masks. I refer all health matters to public health and follow their directives. Third question, finding staff. I am presently Vice President of the Ottawa Student Transportation Authority. I have served 6 of my 10 years of service as a trustee on OSTA. I am very familiar with the driver shortages and other issues around finding employees. The solutions are complicated and challenging. The schools do have a role. I believe that they are doing some amazing things to help educate our students about the many career opportunities. Fourth question, mental health. As I've already mentioned, students, staff, and families are all facing serious mental health challenges today. I do and I will support any initiatives and additional funding that will help our students and staff. I believe we need to be kind and care about each other at this time. I believe mental health issues will be one of our biggest challenges going forward over the next number of years. Question 5. I do not live in the zone. I live close to the zone, and my children have graduated from the OCSB system. They graduated before I took on the role of trustee. I've worked very hard to try to stay connected and respond to this community. I visit schools for events, talk and listen to parents and guardians, principals, students, and superintendents so that I stay up to date on the needs and any issues in the community. One of the things that I really enjoy about being a trustee is I get to attend Lester B. Pearson High School graduation at the end of June. Next term, Zone 5 will expand and include another high school, St. Matthew's High School. When I was writing my speech for the graduates 10 years ago, I asked my kids, what should I say? They responded all together, rolling their eyes, "Mom, it does not matter what you say, just be brief." So I used the words of a retired 92-year-old principal. She said, "I pray you will be publicly useful and privately happy."
Hello. I would like to thank Jeff for organizing this debate, for the candidates that participated and created videos, and for all of those of you who are watching. I hope you will consider supporting me so that I may serve for the next 4 years as the Ottawa Catholic School Board trustee for Zone 5. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning, or good evening, and thank you to the Beacon Hill Community Association for the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Peter Hike, and I'm running to be your Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustee because I want to engage with our community to build a school system that reflects local priorities and improves student achievement. I believe that the role of a school trustee is to make sure that when students graduate, they are prepared for adulthood, have all the tools they need to enter the workforce, pursue an apprenticeship in the skilled trades, or continue their studies at college or university.
Hello, my name is Catherine Milburn, and I am running to represent you as the Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustee in Zone 12. I have a passion for helping my community, communications, creativity, and advocating for education, mentorship, diversity, and inclusion. I want to bring that passion to the role of school board trustee. My previous experiences have given me the tools and diplomacy to sit on the board and make sure all voices are heard. My primary focus in my career is to streamline processes, create effective communication systems, and be a champion for everyone in the organizations I am a part of. Throughout my career, I have been proven time and time again that education and mentorship will help us build a better tomorrow. I want to help foster student achievement, well-being, and equity throughout students' school careers. Students and parents, please tell me what you want to hear in your schools, and I will advocate to bring your voices to the school board. If elected school board trustee, my top 3 priorities are: number 1, the creation of fair and equitable education through funding special education, de-streaming courses for students, and advocating for a vote for student trustees. Number 2, the creation of a safe and inclusive environment through advocating to add the COVID-19 vaccination to the required vaccinations within schools, encouraging school climate surveys to inform planning decisions, supporting the implementation of programs helping to prevent bullying, and advocating for the appropriate healthcare measures to keep our students safe. Number 3, communicating with students and parents through monthly newsletters and eliciting student and parent opinions through surveys. To uphold these priorities, I will consult with students and parents before making decisions while taking into consideration the decisions of local and neighboring school boards and any guidelines issued by health agencies and municipal, provincial, and federal government.
Question number 1. What are my top 3 priorities to address as trustee? My 3 top priorities to address as trustee would be: 1, reduce class sizes; 2, ensure schools are clean and well ventilated; 3, expand special needs programs. Question number 2. What is my stance on masks in schools? I believe that masking should be voluntary for in-person classroom attendance, but I also believe that COVID-19 vaccinations should be mandatory for all students. Should parents choose not to have their children vaccinated, they should be given the option of remote learning.
Keeping students safe and our schools open is one of my top priorities. I would look for the recommendations from health agencies, municipal government, provincial government, and federal government on masking. With that said, in the current climate and with the COVID-19 numbers increasing in our community, I would advocate to extend the mask mandate in schools. To reiterate, keeping students safe and our schools open is one of my top priorities. I agree that adding the COVID-19 vaccination to the list of mandatory vaccinations is key. However, implementing recommendations from health agencies, including if there is a need for masking, is also key in keeping our schools open and our students safe in them. The decrease in the non-teaching staff has been a growing problem year over year. There's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all solution to increase the staff, but if elected school board trustee, my first step would be to listen to the representatives of this group. By opening the door to listen, we can create an open dialogue and come up with steps forward to retain current talent and attract new talent to fill the gap. When looking at non-teaching staff, there are 2 groups to consider: administrative staff, such as librarians and office staff. I would advocate to listen to the representatives' demands of the school board and Ministry of Education, including if there is a need for an increase in compensation, and school bus drivers. Compared to counterparts across Canada, our drivers earn less money for their routes. I would advocate to increase the compensation of school bus drivers.
Question number 3. How will I address the lack of non-teaching school staff, such as bus drivers, library technicians, and office staff? I believe that we need to improve recruitment and retention efforts by increasing the pay and benefits for all non-teaching staff.
I agree that compensation increases are part of the solution. In addition, if we're looking at the examples from the current QP conversations, there are additional requests that the school board should be listening to, included but not limited to 30 minutes of additional prep time for classes, and hiring additional staff.
Question number 4. There is much concern about the mental health of students. What do I plan to do in order to help address this problem? I support the hiring and the inclusion of qualified and full-time psychologists and social workers in all schools at every grade level.
There are a couple of avenues to pursue to address the mental health of students, including making sure students have a safe space by supporting student groups and activities that have been lacking over the past 3 years, creating an open dialogue about mental health in our classrooms and our schools, making sure the appropriate supports are in place and promoted to students, including guidance counselors and peer support groups. Like many issues facing the school board, addressing the mental health of students is not a one-size-fits-all solution. I want to hear from parents and students on how I can support the community in addressing mental health of students so that we can build a safer and more inclusive environment in our schools. I agree that getting the appropriate professional mental health support for students in schools is key and a great long-term goal. In the interim, there are a couple of steps we can take with the existing resources at our fingertips to address mental health, including creating safe spaces for students amongst other students and creating an open dialogue about mental health and how to address it in our schools. I do not live in Zone 12 and I do not have children attending schools in Zone 12. I want to advocate to build a better education system than the one I faced, since the students of today are the leaders of tomorrow.
Question number 5. Do I live in, or do I currently have children attending school in the zone that I wish to represent? I attended school in Zone 12, from kindergarten through till grade 12. I do live in a neighboring school zone, but my parents, my sister, and her 2 children currently live in Zone 12. Thank you for your time. Over the last few months, I've heard from several parents who've expressed concern about the discussion of certain topics in their child's classroom, or frustration with the level of support that their child is receiving, or even concern for their physical safety while at school. And while there'll be many times between now and when your child graduates, when you may have questions about what is happening in your child's school, I'm asking you to trust that our teachers and support staff have the best interest of our children in mind. I believe that everyone has the same goal, which is for our children and young adults to have a positive, safe, and supportive school environment. Should you have any concerns about any aspect of your child's learning experience, you should express those concerns directly with your child's teacher, the school principal, or, yes, even me. I promise you, no matter the problem, together we will solve it. My name is Peter Hike, and I thank you for listening.
I want to represent you as the Ottawa Carleton District School Board Trustee in Zone 12. My priorities are focused on the creation of a fair and equitable education system, the creation of a safe and inclusive learning environment, and communicating with parents and students to bring their voices to the school board. You can visit my website at catherinemilburn.com to learn more about my priorities and contact me with your questions. I want to close by thanking my opponent Peter in participating in this debate, and I want to thank the Beacon Hill Community Association for putting on this debate. On October 24th, I hope you will give me your vote.
Hi, Tim Tierney, your candidate here in Beacon Hill, Cyrville. I'm standing here on beautiful Ogilvie Road, and I'm so happy our local community association, the Beacon Hill Community Associations, asked me to participate on what are the concerns within this community. I'm proud to live in this community. I'm the only candidate that lives in this community, and that's why when I see things like this on Ogilvie Road within our community that needed some kind of repair, resurfacing, I'm proud to deliver on that. So I look forward to today's debate. So when it comes to transportation, we have to ensure that we actually have an effective transit system. In 2024, it's a big change that's going to take place within our community. Instead of buses that have to go from one end of the city to another end of the city, they're not on time, we're going to a spoken hub system. Living in this community, the only candidate that lives here, I know how our buses operate. I've defended our bus routes, and I think it's critically important to work with the community over the next year in 2023 to determine exactly how those routes look. Spoken hub, dedicated on-time service when they're traveling around the communities. Look, you're going to know your operator. It could be the same one doing the exact same loop, and I want to be a part of that process. When it comes to the environment, I'm very proud to say I've been working very hard over many, many years to address the issue of the climate crisis, removing hundreds of thousands of greenhouse gases by whether it's through light rail, electrification of our system, adding on electric buses. We have to roll this out. It's going to make it quieter. You won't have diesel polluting buses that are very noisy going by your home. And I want to be a part of that process. I did want to highlight a couple of examples as requested by the association. We have our first ever splash pad powered by solar power in this ward, in the entire city of Ottawa. We have a dog parkway powered again by the sun. Charging stations for your cell phones in our parks. But we got to continue the great work that's going ahead and protect our environment. You all know me. I'm a bridge builder. I'm willing to work with anyone around the council table to make sure what we need in Beacon Hill, Cyrville is achieved. Whether it's dog parks, pathways, road resurfacing, we need to get our fair share of the budget. I've worked very hard on that with my colleagues. You've seen it around the communities, whether it's community centers, sports complexes, roadways, pathways, or dog parks. I ensure that we get what we deserve. I have over 35,000 bosses within this ward, and it's not the mayor. I work for you, and I'll continue to do that. Thank you. I have been working with my colleagues around the table to identify provincial and federal lands that are owned publicly to increase the number of housing that we do have. I'm also a board member, a part of the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, where we have to look at a national housing strategy, cut the red tape, get some money to municipalities. That's something I'll continue to advocate for. Our community association wanted to know, what's my favorite part of Beacon Hill? Behind me, Richcraft Sensplex. Before I got elected, I was volunteering, helping out Coach, and we needed ice within this community. Healthy activities, healthy living. We needed more ice surface. I was very proud in 2010 when I promised to deliver on that, and in 2014, this building was open. Not only great news for the children that need access to that ice, it employs over 80 people within this facility, a lot of the local youth. So I'm very proud of what we did here. We have to continue the great work that we've been doing. Good afternoon, Beacon Hillers, and to the Beacon Hill Community Association, a big thank you. I know how difficult it is to organize, especially a virtual debate, getting questions from the membership and the community around us here in Beacon Hill. And then being able to get those questions out to the candidates. I'm a little disheartened that my opponent decided not to provide answers back and not to take part in the debate and have that great opportunity that you've afforded me here today to be able to provide my answers to your questions and to be able to have this wrap up here today. That being said, I'm very proud. I live here. I'm the only candidate that actually lives in Beacon Hill, Cyrville. I actually live on the same street as my in-laws. My family's here. I take part in sports. This is home to me. And that's why I'm so passionate about what happens within my community. That being said, I need a very strong mandate to go back to City Hall. This October 24th, please vote Tim Tierney. Thank you, and merci.